Arrays. Arrays are a great way to keep lots of data in a list. To code along with this video in VS Code, open index.html from the Start Lecture 2_5 folder. You create an array just like you create a variable. An array is just a special kind of variable. Unless you plan to keep recreating the array, then I recommend always using const for an array variable. To create the array, just use square brackets. Now we have an array, but the array doesn't contain anything. A JavaScript array has a property length that returns the number of items in the array. Save your work, go back to Chrome and navigate to Lecture 2_5 Start. Now enter planets.length. This returns 0. Let's add some items. Here each item is a string, but we can mix up items in an array. We can have any data type as an item. If we save our work, go back to Chrome, refresh and enter planets.length, now the answer is 7. If you know your planets, you'll realize I've missed one out. Not a problem. We can add an item to the end of the array, even though the variable we're using is a constant. We just use push. Let's create a console log that displays the number of planets in the solar system. Back in Chrome, refreshing the browser, and we get this message. See how by adding Neptune using push, planets.length is now 8. When you have an array, you can access a single item using square brackets and an index value. Just like the first character in a string is index 0, so too the first item in an array is index 0. So despite the fact that we're the third rock from the sun, to get the item Earth we use index 2. 0, 1, 2. If we save and refresh, we now get 2 statements about the planets. If we add another item to the end of the array using the method push and another console message, save and refresh, we see another fact. As well as adding an item using push, we can remove the last item from an array using pop. Save, refresh and review the messages. Great work! As the course progresses, you'll see more things you can do with arrays. A key feature is the ability to access an item in an array using an index value. Recall in the last video we used a switch case statement to display the current day as an English string. A much nicer technique is to use an array. The date object has a method getMonth that returns an index from 0 to 11. Can you create a function called month that returns the current month as an English name? You'll need to create an array of months, get the current month index, then use this to return the right item from the array. Pause the video and give it a try. If you're a complete beginner with programming and JavaScript, it might seem quite hard, but there's no substitute for practice. First we create the function definition. That's just the function keyword and the name of the function followed by brackets. We have no parameters to pass to the function, so that completes the definition. The content of the function goes in curly braces. Now we create an array, we'll call it months. Remember we define an array using square brackets. Then we list each month. These are all strings, so each item goes inside double quotes. You can optionally use a single quote, the apostrophe character. Each item is separated from the previous item using a comma. Now we get the month ID, the index value of the month, by creating a new date object. No parameters are included, so the date will be set to today's date and the current time. Then we use the getMonth method. At this stage the constant variable month ID will be a value between 0 and 11. All that remains is to return the item month square brackets month ID. the item in the array at the index month ID. Save and refresh. Admire all the interesting facts about the planets once more, then enter month, and the current month will be displayed in English. Of course, if you prefer a different language, then simply replace the content of the months array with the names of the months in your preferred language. Arrays are very important in programming, but when working with the ThreeJS library, the most important data type is an object, and we'll look at them in the next video. This video comes from my Udemy course, The Beginner's Guide to 3D Web Game Development with ThreeJS. Get the full course by following the link at nicklever.com/courses.